Good morning. So let's take a comfortable seat. Take a few deeper breaths, a few shrugs in the shoulders, just whatever length you can find through the body. Feel the hips on what you're sitting on. So we're aware of the physical alignment, how we're feeling in our bodies. Maybe there's tension there. Holding. Okay. So when you're ready, let's close the eyes, bringing the attention to the breath. I'm going to read a little something. Death is like taking off a tight shoe. Death is like taking off a tight shoe. Even when you are dead, you are still alive. You do not cease to exist at death. This is only an illusion. Dying is self-regulating. It is of divine origin. It is absolutely safe. It is absolutely safe. The fear of death is the fear of letting go. The fear of death is the fear of letting go. As it is in life, so it is in death. The process of dying is always a joyous one once the human fear has been overcome. The process of death is always a joyous one once the human fear has been overcome. When fear is laid aside, death becomes a most exciting adventure. There is nothing to fear in the universe. Nothing. When souls leave physical bodies, as in a profound meditation, there is a light, a sense of well-being, of peace, and of knowing that you are there in your entirety, in your individuality, that you have not ceased to exist, but you've gone into another level, a more intense existence. This contemplation on death is something which in the West we tend to be a little skittish about. It wouldn't have been long ago, certainly in Ireland, in which dying was a much fuller part of the society, the community, in that people were awake for longer. It was a more normal experience. And the reason I bring up this idea of dying is more with this idea of letting go and our capacity to really support ourselves in this process of letting go, not just to this idea of our own demise, which is certainly an incredible work, an incredible process to contemplate and work with. But the idea of letting go into the moment, and this is the essence of our practice, to become so fully receptive, to begin to notice what it is that we're carrying in terms of patterns, holding, sensations in the body. And in this way, we're getting to meet what's here. You know, even if you think about what's happening in the world and the fear that I know I felt it, and many of us have felt it coming up, these layers that we carry around. And one way of looking at these challenges is it's an opportunity to move through some of the stuff that keeps us stuck or keeps us trapped or keeps us in these contracted forms. So the idea of, as we sit here and we notice our breath, of just tuning into what's in there for us this morning. How are we doing this morning? Happy, anxious, fearful, frustrated, hungry. So we turn toward what is here for us. We quietly acknowledge it to ourselves. And in one sense, our practice is just to sit here and observe what's moving through us, to use the breath as an anchor at times. So we don't get too attached to this story that's happening inside of us. And in the same way, we're invited to not get too attached to the story that's happening around us. It's that phrase of being in it and not of it. That our whole lives are this process of learning to let go more deeply. Of unlearning what we learned as children, what we brought into the world with us. That underneath all those layers of fear is a deep trust. That even though we are not with it some of the time, or a lot of the time, or all of the time, we are part of something bigger. We're held in something bigger. And our practice, the invitation is to simply learn how to meet the places that don't believe. The stories, the discomfort, the wounds. And through the structure of our practice, allow whatever needs to move through us to be released can do that. So even as you sit here and you hear my voice and you notice your breath, your body and your being are in this process of rebalance, releasing. So notice the breath, be close to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep bringing your attention back to the breath. Stay with your breath. Come back to your breath. So we're going to make a little sound together. And just the sound Om. Om. And the description of this sound is it is the sound which represents the creating force behind the universe. So as we know, sounds hold a vibration. You know, you put a glass on a speaker and you'll see it in the water, the vibration. So our system being almost 80% water, when we make a sound, it has a vibration through the cells of our body. And this is a sound that is aligned with, let's say, a positive charge. So it's a sound that supports this idea of rebalancing. And the body has a deep wisdom and knows where it wants to go. And at times needs support in that what we're doing is bringing fragmented parts of ourself back together. We're creating union, unifying all these different parts of ourselves, these complex beings that we are. So the whole system can work as more of an integrated system, more of a balanced system. Okay, so sit comfortably. We'll do this for about 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Take a deep breath. Three more. Just bring the hands together in front of the heart. So this contemplation of death is an invitation to just drop a little deeper into what's there for us. It's our primordial fear. All of us carry it. No one is immune to this. The fear of our own demise. And it's so wrapped up in how we respond to the world, how we react to the world, how we react to what is difficult. So as we sit with it, we let what needs to move through us do that. And all of this then is a process of coming home to ourselves. That underneath what it is that we're moving through and awakening to and feeling, underneath all of this is this deep quality of joy. That there is an intrinsic joy to life. And of course, we're not always with it. But we ask that our practice this morning and our practices over these mornings support us in really meeting what it is that is there for us. In learning to hold what is uncomfortable or difficult or challenging with compassion and wisdom. And in that process, really meeting ourselves and meeting the joy that lies underneath all of the suffering that is there. To ourselves and to each other we bow. Thanks, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay.